This conference will now be recorded.
All right, let's get started. So, yesterday we were talking about what we learn in this course and what are the different components available and how are the salaries in the market and so on. So, today what we will do, we will get started with the first component of Tableau. So, the first component and the most widely used tool by all Tableau developers. So that is Tableau Desktop. So this is the first component of Tableau suite. Now can you just name few so you know that we have desktop, we have server, then we have Tableau online or cloud, then we have got Tableau mobile, just listing out different suites. Then you have got Tableau Reader, then Tableau Public, and the Tableau Wrap. So these are some of the components available. Now in this, so we are going to start with the first component of Tableau suite, which is Tableau Desktop. So will start with Tableau Desktop, and we'll spend majority of time in understanding this particular tool. Okay. All right. So what we have to do is you have to download this software, install it on your machines, and only then we can start working on it. So let's see how do we install it. And one interview question you can expect here. Tableau Desktop can be installed on Windows operating system. So there's no doubt in that. But can we install this software, which is Tableau Desktop, on your MacBook? You have Apple operating system or Apple machine, then can you install it? Yes, you can install it. So there is no problem, right? And before we install this software in our local machine, so what we have to know is what is the minimum requirement? Can we install on any operating system, any RAMs? Yes, of course you can do it, but this is the minimum. So I'm specifying here, which is minimum. So Tableau says you can install it on Windows 7 operating system, but it is highly recommended to use Windows 10 operating system. The reason is all companies are using only Windows 10 and above, but we are not using Windows 7 anymore because there is no support. So if you are running on little old operating system, so it's time for you to upgrade. Second, what RAM should I have on my computer? So Tableau says you can work with Tableau Desktop if you have 1.5 GB of RAM. Okay, this is very, very small. And on your computers, so it is highly recommended to have at least 8 GB RAMs on your computer. Now you can ask me, I have 4 GB RAM, can't I work? You can work, no problem. But if you install database like SQL Server on your computer, it will be very, very, very slow. So immediately, please upgrade yourself to your RAM minimum 8 GB. And even Office machines, you are going to see minimum 8 GB, and even you will find 16 GB RAMs as well, because you have to handle with huge volumes of data in reality. So the RAM size should be more. And main important point, free space. At least your C drive should have minimum of 10 GB free space, but I would say have more free space so that it writes all the log files and other temporary files. So it will create it as long as you are working on desktop. So have good number of amount of free space in your C drives. Now, people ask me like, how do I check these things on my computer? It's very simple. So many people know that, but I use little different way for that. So hit Windows R, then you can just type here ms info. That means Microsoft Info 32. So just type it in your command prompt. So I'll put here and say OK. This will launch a new window where you can verify your system information. So I'm running on operating system Windows 10, Microsoft Windows 10. This is the version, and I can check here. This is the main part where I would be checking the processor. So it is like 2 core, 4 logical processors. And I'm still on i3. So i3 still works. No need to upgrade your processor. But if you have i5, i7, that's brilliant. That's very good. And this plays an important role when you talk about server, when you talk about Tableau server. But for now, just look at these things and whether you have little low configurations, so time to upgrade. Now, if you scroll down, I would be looking at what is my RAM. It is 12 GB RAM, so I have 12 GB on my computer, and that's it. So that's what I would be checking. So this is a RAM and the processor, and what is operating system. Is it 32-bit or 64-bit? By chance, by mistake, if you are still on 32-bit operating system, please upgrade to 64. Means make it to Windows 10 or above, then it should be automatically coming to 64. Right? So this is the information you can check in one place. So I'll just put here, so type Windows plus R and type msinfo 32, hit enter to see system information. That's one point. So now today, so just look at these things and upgrade yourself, or upgrade on the weekends if it is lesser. Because going forward, we will be working with the databases as well. So minimum configurations are recommended. Now this is just the continuation of the above. Can we install desktop on Mac operating system? Yes, you can install it, but the minimum operating system version, it should be 10.5 and above. So that is one. So people who are in US, so make sure of this point. So I know you'll be working with Mac a lot. Then now I'm ready to download my Tableau desktop. So how do I do it? This is your website. So just copy this URL and go to your Google or go to the browser, then navigate to that link. Then it is trying to tell you that this is free version for 14 days trial period. So first 14 days, no questions asked. So you can download it and you can use it. Remember, you will have complete version. So it is not like because it is a trial, you don't see that option, this option. It is not like that. You will see every option which is available in the licensed version. So after you come to this page, just fill out this page. So you can give your valid details or invalid details. That's still fine. So I'll just enter my things. Yeah, like this. I don't have a business email, so I'll enter my email ID. It is not company email ID, so just you can enter any email ID and just select some options here. Okay, let's say I work for IT, and let's say I work as an analyst. So you can choose anyone, and I'm from India. Then it will ask you for entering some number. You can give some random number, and you can just say here, download free trial. Did that started? Let's see. Okay, it says organization is required. So just say here self. It's still fine. So in this field, I didn't enter anything. So just type self. Click on download. Then the download has begun, and you can see this is a Tableau desktop, 64-bit, and then 2023 year, second major version, and a minor version. So it has got the naming conventions in this way: year, major release, then the minor release. So we are trying to install the latest version of Tableau Desktop. Okay, it completed. So let it finish. Right, I have to see that. It has to take me to that. Not here. So I'll go to downloads page. That should be finished there. Go to downloads. All right. So this is my application here. So before you run it, make sure you logged in as an administrator on your computer. If it is your personal computer, majority of the case it will be as admin only. But in case if you are not an admin, then when you right click, you might find an option run as administrator. If you are not an admin, otherwise just you can say open, that is also fine. But prefer this option run as admin if you see it, but otherwise just say open. So I'm trying to install this software on my computer. So wait for it. Initially it takes some time because it has to check for the prerequisites to install that software. So it will evaluate that, and the first screen will be displayed very soon. So I'm still waiting for it to show me the first screen. So this is your first screen. Right, I'll minimize rest of the things. Okay. So you just have to say here accept the license. That's still fine. And it is optional if you want to select this, select, otherwise just click on install. Installation speed depends on your system speed, how much RAM you have, how much free space you have, the processors. So it depends on all of those, but it should be done quickly. If you look at this here, Tableau from Salesforce, isn't it? So Tableau was a company, and Salesforce is another company. Salesforce acquired Tableau. In which year? In 2019, I believe. So Salesforce company. So it acquired Tableau company. That's why you see here Tableau from Salesforce. So I'm just initializing things. It will be little slow on my computer because I've got 7 to 8 different versions of Tableau, and I'm also running Power BI, and also there's a database running in the background, and also Visual Studio, which is needed for .NET, and even I have Python on my computer. So that's why it will be little slow, but only the installation. But after that, once you open the software, it will all be as usual. So parallelly, if you want to finish off this installation, you can do it right away. All right.
Pradeep, can you please share that link in the chat so that we also can start?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me put that link in the chat. I did that, so you can download it now. It should take less than 2 minutes in a perfect condition. Okay, it has begun installation. That's good. So while it completes the installation, so this group, are we having employees or freshers, or just wanted to upgrade your skills with personal interest? Okay. Can I know that? Okay, pin drop silence.
Yeah, I have 4+ years experience, so but I would like to learn computer. That is
Okay,
okay, Pradeep.
that's good. Good. And on which domain you have when your
Right
current?
now I'm
Okay, working on which domain? I mean, which technology?
specific in Canada.
I missed it. Sorry. Right, but I got your point. You are already working. That's good. All right, installation about to finish. Okay, so Vinod says you have 5+ years there. That's good. Wanted to upskill your career. It's nice. And as long as you are in IT, you have to upgrade yourself every now and then, frequently, I would say. On an yearly basis, you have to evaluate yourself, what you learned this year, what you will be learning or planning next year. And even still today, even I have to upgrade, otherwise, it's difficult to survive in IT.
Hi Pradeep. So, do we have any existing Tableau material in the institute? Can we take that?
Yeah, it's already there. So I have written that material, and you can take that physical and hard copy. It's available.
Okay, we can get it from institute, right? Or
Yeah, you can get it from Institute.
okay, thank you. Actually,
Okay.
yesterday I missed a class. So I don't know what I missed
Oh,
yesterday.
nothing. It's just about the introduction to Tableau and your career and how it can be, and what are the job opportunities, and on which areas you will be working, and the salaries part, then different components, what we have in Tableau, and how we will be learning things. But I'll make sure that I'll upload yesterday's recording to the drive, and if I have the Gmail ID, then I can share the recorded sessions there, so you can go back and watch it.
Yeah, here I'm working on some Tableau automation part. So
I
would it
see.
help to me to make the
What do you
automate?
do in automation?
We are receiving the data from Tableau SQL database. So
Okay,
once tables has been loaded, then we have to refresh the Tableau files. Okay. So once you refresh
I see.
done, we have to update
Mhm.
we should select manually current month data and update it. So this is what we are doing right away. So but they are asking
I
me
see.
to once you refresh the Tableau files, then all the current data has to be updated automatically.
Hmm.
So yeah, that is what they are expecting from my end. I'm completely new to this Tableau process.
I see. Okay. So you are it's mainly the admin job which you are trying to do now. It's purely admin part, because once you are getting the data, you have to refresh it. But why are you trying to do manually? So you can automate it using Tableau server, isn't it? Just schedule that refresh, and it will automatically refresh all the files.
Uh, so what I did, like I have created parameters and I
Okay.
have created some date values and uh, I have created one parameter which contains number integer. Okay, I have
Mhm.
given 12 number and a 24 number. for two parameters. Okay, and I have created one calculated field which contains the current date value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you go in the filters, so we have four options, right? General and the top
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
something. So yeah,
Wildcard. Mm-hmm.
yes, a wildcard and condition. So in the
Right.
top, I have created there we have two options, right? One is some maximum and a minimum and above. So in the above, I have taken current value, and
Mm-hmm.
below I have taken this parameter. When
Okay, you're
when we read,
controlling with parameter, isn't it? That's all.
yes, yes, yes. So do we have any other way to automate it?
So I would say, why can't you try view in SQL or stored procedure in SQL?
Hmm.
Otherwise, you can try new custom SQL in Tableau.
Custom SQL. This terminology and all completely new for me.
Okay, okay. All right, we'll come back to that because that discussion is so far and too long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's come back here, and after you install your Tableau desktop, this is the first screen which you will see. So you have got three options now: start trial, activate the product key, and activate by signing into a server. So we don't have option 2, option 3 at the moment. So we can click on the first one, start trial now. So if you click on that, from that date, it will count 14 days. And after 14 days, it will not allow you to work with desktop. So you definitely need a product key. So I'll tell you soon. So how to get the free product key, you have to just register yourself as a student. Then you will get the key, then take the key and activate the key. Okay, but for now, so everyone can start using this because you have got 14 days. So let's click on first one, start trial now. So it will ask some email ID, that is still fine. You can use your valid Gmail ID and click on register. Okay, registration complete and click on continue. Now you can start working with Tableau desktop. This is your first screen when you open this. All right, so this is your first screen. Now you see here it is divided into like two sections. So generally you will see third section also here, but it's not available. It is like the online help, but that's still fine. So this part, it is trying to tell you that you can connect to the files, to the databases where you have the data. So I can connect to Tableau server, so where you can place your data, or if you have data in your files, you can use these options. And if you want to connect to databases, then you can use these options. So click on more to see what happens. It should open a big list here, and it should tell you that to all these databases we can connect. For example, PostgreSQL, I can connect to Oracle, MySQL, or I can connect to SQL Server. So where is SQL Server? Microsoft SQL Server, or I can connect it to some Azure databases or some Alibaba data warehouses, analytical databases. So you have all options available here. But remember, there is a precondition to connect to these databases. only for Microsoft SQL Server you can connect it directly. So there is no dependency. But if you want to connect to other databases, there is a precondition. You have to install some driver files. All right. So we'll come back to this. But just observe that you can connect to 72 plus data sources. And if you want to connect it to the files, now you can click on more here. So it will open this window. Now if you see here, I can connect to TWB, BX, DBM, DDS. So there are so many extensions available here. So you can connect to all these file systems. All right. So first part, so left side, whatever you are seeing is the data source connectivity options. And this side, the second part, here you will see the recently created files or recently opened files. So that will show up here one after the other. Can I use drawing option here? Let me just check where is the drawing option. I don't know, will it allow me to draw? Okay, it doesn't allow me. So the old version I can write on the screen, but this version is very bad. It doesn't allow me to write. Okay, so here you can see so many files coming up, the recently opened files or the saved files it shows here. Okay, this is your first screen. Then you click on home button, so it takes you to the second screen here. See, hardly there are 3 to 4 screens only in Tableau. The first screen, the previous one, so you click back again home, it takes you to this, and if you click on that again, it takes you to this screen. This is a main screen for Tableau desktop. Majority of the time you will be on this screen itself. Okay, so we have to understand all these options. So very less options available, but it takes good amount of time to understand each option, the complexity behind it. So we'll go very slow. All right, before we start looking at it, now after I install Tableau desktop, does it create any files in our computer? So this is one commonly asked interview question. So this is the question. So what are the default folders which are installed or which are created by Tableau? Okay, so let's see what it does here. So after you install Tableau desktop, you go to documents folder here. So you navigate to documents from the left side. It will create a new folder called as my Tableau repository. All right, so I have renamed it. Where is the time? Is it still using the same repository? Let's see. Okay, you will see something like this. All different folders it will get created, like the bookmarks folder, connectors folder, data sources folder, extension folder. So these are all the folders which you have to remember for interview purpose. And we will be working with almost all the folders which are available here. All right, so this is one place, but let me check the latest place where it is using. So I will say connect to the data. Let's click on Excel. So by default, it takes you to that path. So I'll copy that path and I want to come back here and use that. All right. See here, the path have changed here. So it is going to C drive, users, your computer name, then the documents, then my Tableau repository, then data sources. So it's taking you to that page. Right, so after you install desktop, so what you do here is, so the first time you click on connect to data and click on any file here, click on any file, Excel file, just copy that path. So that is the default folder or the default path which it will be creating. In my case, it navigated to this place, but it is just here your user name, documents, my Tableau repository, and this is your place where all folders will get created. Very, very important interview question. So the default folders, if you just quickly take a look, now it will be something like this. Okay, where did that go? Bookmarks, connectors, data sources, extensions, extras, your log files. If you are working with maps, then the authentication configurations, services, shapes folder, very useful one, styles, then some new, maybe I created this some with other applications, and you will see workbooks. Most importantly, you will see only this file, preferences.tps. So for you, it looks something like this. So this is how it looks for you. And remember this file name, preferences.tps. This is one interview question. So what is the extension? .tps, Tableau preferences file. So just see that, just keep an eye. We'll come to that and we'll understand what is that. Okay, but these are the default folders which it gets created. Second, go to your data sources folder, go inside it. You will find whatever version you installed, you will find that version of Tableau desktop. Get inside that. It says this is a language. Get inside it. You will find 4 files available there. These are the sample files which are given by Tableau for practicing purpose. Okay. So if you see the file extensions, it is .tds, .xls, .hyper, and .tds again. So these two files, same extension, and this one with a different extension, and this one is just an Excel file. So let's open that Excel file. Let's see what it has got. Sample data to practice to understand Tableau, and by end of the course we will perform a post-mortem of the Superstore file. We'll uncover every scenario which we can pull from that data. Okay, so let's open that file. Come on, close it. And you will see 3 different tabs available here. So one is Orders tab, People tab, and Returns tab. So there are 3 tabs available in this Excel file. Let's go to the top, control up arrow, and these are your column names. So these are your column names. You have like 16 or 17 columns, and this data is related to some superstore where it has got some sales information for their products, and they are selling products across United States and to different states in that United States. And then it has got every details like what is the order ID, when we got the order, when we shipped that order, and how did we ship that. You can think of Amazon, so it does the same thing. Who is the customer, what is the customer name, which segment they belongs to, so which city, which state, country, region, and some important information about the business, how much sales you got, how much quantity you sold, and did we provide or did we get any discount, how much profit we made. So some information is available here, and it's a very good information to analyze and go down. So how many records you have? So use control down arrow. So it is like 9,994 records. So you got almost 10,000 records in this file, which is probably a good one to start with. and we will perform a detailed analysis of this data. And based on this, we will also apply this to other data sets. How should we understand the data, and what can we uncover from the data? That is important. All right, so this is a sample file, and that's all it is trying to show these things. And if you go back to Tableau, cancel, go back to the home page, you can see here the last section, saved data sources. So if you click on this sample superstore, it will try to open this Excel file. So it will try to get these files, and it is telling you world indicators. So it is pointing to these files. So if you click on it, it will open this data in Tableau. That's what it does. Like a shortcut, you can just click on it. It will open this file. Okay, that's the first point. Then what we do today is, let's look at one part here, then we'll go to the next step. What are the different versions available so far, and what is the version you are currently working on? This information is very, very useful for those who claim experience, isn't it? You say, I'm working from last 4 years on Tableau. Then you have to know what was the version released at that time. So this is a complete list. So the first version, it's on 2012, Tableau 7. And in 2008, they released Tableau 4, but it's not that great, that success they got. The first success for Tableau they got in 2013 with Tableau version 8. So this is the most successful version for Tableau. And from that point, they did not look back, and they keep on updating, they keep on releasing new versions where it become more stronger year by year. And just make a note, from 2018 onwards, Tableau version matches the version of the year. 2018 version means 18 version is released in 18th year. 2019 released in 19. But before that, you have 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't have 11 version. After 10, it's 18. Then 20, 21. So it was like latest in that point of time. But currently, we are running which version here? So we downloaded today 2023.2.1. On which date? So it is on September 12th, 2023. We'll just add that line. Okay, so just make a note of this. So those who keep experience, be very careful. They'll ask you like, what was the first version you worked with Tableau? You have to say correct answers. Okay, for that reason, I've put that list here. Then before we start, so everyone will have a query like, how do I get a key? Because after 14 days, what should I do? So this is a URL. So I'll paste it in the chat as well. So you can go to this page. I'll go to that page and register yourself as a student. So if you navigate to that page, so it will take you to this page. So Tableau academic students, then you will find here free academic license or get Tableau for free. So it is Tableau for students. Then you click on this link or this link, that's still fine. Then it will open this pop-ups. Then wait for a second, it will come up with questions. Then scroll down. So you have to enter the information here. But remember, it is not your first name, your last name. So you need one ID card for student. That means you can get your kids or your colleagues, relatives, or whoever it is, they should be studying from 8th class to engineering or MCA, MBA, anything is fine, PG. Just get that ID card, and whatever name is there on that ID card, enter those details here. First name, last name, which institute, or I mean institute is for US people, but for India it is like which college, which school, and if you have the email ID of the schools, and then enter the date of birth as shown in the ID card, then preferred language, residence, school information again. So fill these details and click on verify student license. Now the moment you click on this, it will ask you, okay, please upload your ID card. So take a snapshot, take a pic in your mobile, then upload your pic to this website, and only one screen you will get after you click this. Then it will say, all right, I got all your details. It says I will revert you back. So within 20 minutes maximum, you will get a reply from Tableau saying that if it is success, you will get a key. If it is failure, then it will ask you, can you submit one more document or one more supporting document? So if you just upload it back, then if it is if it is good and if they satisfy, then you will get the key in your email ID. So just use that email ID and then just use that key. Come back to Tableau here. Then, but one after you get a key, wait for wait for 14 days because it is already free. After 14 days, you can go to manage product keys. Then you can click on that. So you will not see anything there. Maybe you will see a blank one. Then you can say enter the key. Then just double click and use that key. Then you click on activate it. Then say close. So from that point, it is like 1 year no license is asked by tablet. So you can use it for free. But after you get the key, do it after in days, not before, because it is still free for you. So these are the steps to get a free license from Tableau, and you can work with it. Okay, so this is a link. Now you know how to install and what are the default folders, different versions of Tableau. So the next step here is we have to start working with Tableau. Before we start working with Tableau, I'll take a quick pause. Do you have any questions so far? Okay, so no questions means that's good. So today what I want to do is I want to connect. Let's see how to connect to Notepad. So we have some data in the Notepad and I want to connect it in Tableau. So let's go here. I've created a very small file. Okay, where did that go? I didn't save that file. All right, I'll create that file. No worries. And I'll say something like the products information is txt only, and let's create 2 or 3 columns. Let's say this is product column, and then this is sales column, this is profits column. Now I got some products like, let's say, laptop, then how much sales you made, maybe 2 lakh sales, then I got like 50,000 profit. Good business. And mobile is one of my product, but it will be detailed, but just this is a sample. There is a huge demand for mobile, so I got like 5 lakhs sales for that, and I got 2 lakhs profits. Okay, then let's say this is television. Now let's say I just made 1 lakh sales, then I got like 8,000 profit. Save this information. So this is a data I have, a sample data with just 3 columns. Now this is a very small data, but understand this is a product which is telling you some textual information. This is a text, isn't it? And sales and profits are numbers. Okay, this is related to some numbers, and this column is trying to tell you about some text information. Okay, so let's see how do we connect this file to Tableau first. All right, so I'll save it here. Now how do I connect to Tableau? So this is a file, so I'll say to a file. I can see the text file, so click on the text file. Where is that file available? So go to that path. Where is that file available? And I'll just go there. Okay, I have to keep this on the desktop. Now this is my file. Let's say open. Now you can see Tableau is trying to connect to that file and trying to get that information what is there in that file. You can see another screen in Tableau, the third screen maybe. Isn't it? Now don't worry about all options in one session. So just observe like what I'm navigating to. So left side it is trying to tell you that this is a connection I made to that file, and I just made to one file, but here it is trying to show you that there are two files. So I said connect to text file, but if you observe, there are two text files there. So Tableau thought, okay, I'll pull all files from this folder. So it got all those files. That's still okay, but I don't want this file. That's fine. You can just leave it. And don't worry about these options. All different options. We'll come back to them soon. Now the right side, this is the area. See what is the name of your file. So the same name it shows here. Products. So the same name it is trying to show you here. Then it is trying to tell you that I read that file. I read this file. Then this is the sample data I got from that file. So if you look at these things, there are 3 columns: product, sales, profits. This is a data which I had in Notepad. That is the same data which is shown by Tableau here. So this is a data in Notepad, and this is how Tableau read that file, and it's giving you that there are 3 rows in that file. Okay, and you can see these things here on the left side. So it's trying to analyze by detail what type each column is. So it is trying to put that in some symbols. So we'll come to this in the next session. What are these here? Okay, so we'll try to understand them. But for now, just look at this. This is a connection. It pulled all files with the same format. This is a name of your file. This is a table which it read, and just the name. This is a data which I am seeing. Okay, that's all important. Now you can see here it is prompting that go to worksheet. click on that sheet. Now this is the screen which we came back some time ago, isn't it? Now this is a main screen. As I said, we will be working on this screen to generate our reports by understanding what data we have. All right. Now that's just the connectivity part, and this is a name of the file and the connection, and you can see this option here. Just click on it. Let's see what it shows. So it is trying to show you that okay, this is the information which is there in that notepad. Okay, I just connected to the file and I clicked on this button, then I'm able to see the sample data. Close this, and I want to close the connection. I don't want this notepad. Then very simple, just right click on this and you can say here close. So you can say close, that means remove that file from Tableau. So that's gone. If I want to bring it back again, you can say connect to data. You will get this window again. That's the text file I wanted. Select that file, say open. Now it takes you back to the same screen. Just wait for 1 or 2 seconds while it populates this information and click on sheet 1. It takes you back to this screen. Now I'll navigate between the screens, so just watch it. So if I want to go to the first page, click on home button. This is the first page. Now again click on home button. It takes you to this. Now I want to go to another screen which I was working. You can see in the left hand side corner data source. Click on it. It takes you to this screen. So these are the major screens available in desktop. One is home button. Now another one is the data source button. Another one is the sheet where it takes you to these menus. So only 3 screens, major screens available in Tableau desktop. Now I don't want this file. Very simple, right click and say close, and that's gone. So I'm trying to show you how to connect to Notepad. So I created this Notepad. Now let's say I want to connect to Excel file. I want to connect to this Excel file. Okay, I'll just copy and place it in today's folder. I'll place it here. So how to connect it to Excel file? It's pretty much same. Connect to data. Then my data source is Excel. So click on Excel. Now it will ask you where is that file. So just browse to that path here. So by default it might not show you correctly. Just browse and select that file. Say open. Now wait for a second. It is trying to read that file. Now it takes you back to this page. But wait for some time. Alright. Now it's giving you some message here. Track tables. Okay, which table? Are there any tables? Now if you have understood the Excel file, it has got 3 sheets here, isn't it? There are 3 sheets. Now each sheet, you can see the same name here. Orders, orders. People, people. Returns, returns. Each sheet is a table here. So Tableau, how does it read Excel files? Each sheet as one table, as one table. So if you want to see that information, you can click on this icon. Just click on that icon. Then you can see that information here again. So this is the data which I have in the Excel file. You have 9994 rows and 21 columns. Okay. Now, which table do you want to analyze? You have to drag that table here. Tableau is all about drag and drop. most of the times. So just hold your mouse, drag it here. You don't have to put that in this box. So just drag and drop anywhere on the screen. So just release your mouse. Then it will read that table and it will show that information here. Then go to the sheet. Then this is ready for you to start analyzing, to start building your reports. So this is your data in the left side, but we don't know what are these. So we'll try to analyze them very soon. What are these and why something as blue, why some as green, why there is a line between them, and we'll try to understand each one of the option available here. Now how to close this? I don't want this Excel file. All right, very simple. Right click and say close. Wait for a second. That's gone. Right, so that's just the connectivity options. How to connect to Notepad and how to connect to Excel. And we also saw how to close the connections to Notepad and Excel files. Okay, so tomorrow what we will do, we will start analyzing the data which you connect, and we will look at the dimensions, the measures, and what colors it gives, what is the meaning of that color, what are like discrete values, what are continuous values, and also we'll try to understand the types of connections we have, and we will start building